What's up, guys and gals? Iceman here. Welcome to Chilling Tales. So, what I have for you today is one of the most horrendous bear attacks that I've told on this channel yet. And what's really interesting about it is I actually have the recording of this lady expressing what she's going through to the dispatch team in the midst of this bear attack. It's just so, and it comes at her 4 different times. So I warn you, this is mature audiences only, all right? But her name was Karen. She was about 63 years old, from Maryland. And this attack happened in 2016. And what's crazy is the bear had it wrapped its jaws around her skull, and its 1.5 inch long fang, this bacteria-ridden yellow tooth, it stuck into her eye socket and began cracking her skull. And what's most startling about this is this was a black bear. I know I've made a lot of videos on this channel regarding black bears, but I have never heard of an attack like this. This one was just relentless. Like with grizzlies, it's common where they'll be very, very aggressive, especially if they were provoked or if it's predatory, which is sometimes the case. But often it's a sow protecting its cubs. But in this case, it was a sow black bear, all right? A mother black bear and her 3 cubs. And I had no idea how defensive and aggressive a mother black bear can actually be. Because I was actually in Tennessee one time in that Circle Drive thing. What's it called? Is it called Cades Cove? And I was shocked. I saw a bunch of idiots, all right, getting out of their cars. And they were just circling around this tree that had a mother black bear up in it, along with a few cubs. And they were surrounding this tree with their cell phones out, taping it, right? So I'm sitting there thinking, and this was 10 years ago. So I wasn't as knowledgeable about bears, but I knew that that wasn't a good idea. You know, that sometimes they'll act erratically if you're harassing their cubs. Now, these people weren't harassing their cubs. Or maybe they were harassing their cubs. I mean, it seemed like they chased him up the damn tree. But it was kind of telling to me. Maybe it was because there were just so many people around as to why the mother didn't do anything. But I mean, the mother was stuck up in the tree too, all right? But if people would have done that with a grizzly, it would have been a completely different story. But that's what's unusual about this story. So nonetheless, Karen lived by those mountains in Maryland. All right? Beautiful, lush forest and trees everywhere. And it was about 9 p.m. at night. So it was getting a bit dark. And what's interesting is her sister lived about 100 to 200 yards away from her house. So she heard her sister's dog going off like crazy. And her sister was either gone or she was sleeping. I really don't know which. But her dog was just yapping and yapping and yapping. It was a golden retriever. I have the audio of this on my cell phone. I'm going to listen to it in just a minute, and I'm going to describe what I'm hearing to you guys, but I can't post it on YouTube. It's too damn graphic. But if you want to have access to it, click the link in the description, join my Patreon, all right, and you will have access to this audio. I'm going to make it patrons only. Whew! But, I'm going to go over it in just a minute, all right? I'm going to describe it the best I can to you guys in just a minute. But she heard that damn dog yapping. So Karen, of course, was concerned. Why the hell is this dog going off? There were bears in the area and she knew of them. So this was a concern. And what's crazy about this mother sow is that it was complained on several times in the past, to the point where it actually had a collar around its neck where the DNR or whatever, they could track it, all right? Because people would complain. They'd say, yeah, this mother bear and its cubs are invading on my territory. They're setting my dogs off. They're going through my garbage, and nothing was done about it, all right? So this is the same bear that attacked her. It's just unbelievable. I mean, it probably should have been relocated. And Karen, let's get to it. So Karen grabs her little dog. It was like a Shih Tzu or something. And she starts walking down to see what the ruckus was all about. There she finds her sister's dog at a tree, right? And it's barking and barking up the tree. And Karen looks up with her little Shih Tzu on the leash, and she sees 3 cubs up there. Just, the noise they make? They're like, "Nyeh." Like I've heard a cub bear when I was in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I was just a little duck-billed platypus camping with my dad and my uncle. I was about 8 years old, and we were walking back at dusk. We were in the Upper Peninsula on this Escanaba or something. All right, we took a little canoe out there. They won't even allow motorboats on the lake. So we were walking back, and I was having a good time at that point. It was just 3 days into the camp. We never heard or saw a bear. I was, worried about the bears, but at that point I didn't see any. So I was running way ahead of them in the trail. And all of a sudden I heard like this baby cub, and I was like, oh my God, where's it? And I was running down the trail. I could have fell into a den or something. You know what I mean? Mama bear could have seen me. Yeah. It's probably the closest I've ever been to a bear attack. I mean, I was small. All right, I'm like 6'4" now. But I was small. I was 8 years old. I was this boy. And running down the trail, and I hear again and again and again. And I look way back. And my dad and my uncle are way back there. I could barely even see them because the trail wound around. There's a bunch of woods and all that. And I knew that was a concerning sound. It was a little cub bear, and it probably saw me, and it was calling for its mama. Now, fortunately, my dad had a hand cannon in his pocket, if you know what I'm saying. And he had the thing drawn out at that point. But, I mean, who knows what could have happened. But the story isn't about me. I'm just saying it's a concerning sound when the little cub starts going off like that. So Karen looks up and sees the cubs up there. She looks to the dog. She has her dog on the leash. And then out of nowhere, this bear, this black mass, this massive sow for black bear. I mean, I assume its head was down, its ears were down, and the thing was charging. And it just crashed into Karen. All right, her cell phone goes flying because she had her cell phone out as a light because she had to see what was going on. And the bear gets on top of her and just begins ravaging her body, just digging in. And she's trying to block her neck. And she uses her fist to block her neck. But that's when the bear grabs around her skull and gets its eye in her eye socket and just begins pulling and pulling. He's trying to rip her damn head off, all right? I don't know how else to put it. The dog takes off. The leash still on it, just runs away. I don't really know what happened with the golden retriever. If you guys have any idea, let me know in the comments. But golden retrievers, I mean, they got a lot of yap, but they don't got much bite, you know? And it's not like it was its owner. So, I mean, or its master, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, it might have just booked it. I'm not entirely sure. But Karen's body in this moment was getting ravaged by this sow, full-grown black bear. The 3 cubs up in the tree, mother's just on the ground next to it, just digging into it. Karen's rolling all over the place. And then it leaves. And she's sitting there, body mangled, in the fetal position, looking around. And this bear's just huffing and just walking around, just circling around her. And then its jaws are open, it's drooling. And Karen's trying to stay still. You know, she's wondering, where the hell did my dog go? What happened to my back, my shoulder? And then the thing charges again. And it's batting its jaws. It's what those black bears will do when it's a telling sign that they're most likely going to attack. They'll bat their jaws. They'll swat at the ground. They'll dig at the ground. When they're not going to attack, when it's a bluff charge, they'll have their ears up and their eyes up, and they'll do like that, and then they'll dash away. All right. But when they're going to attack, they'll have their ear down, their head down like this, like you know, they hunch up like a cat, and that's what this thing was doing. So she heard the clapping of the jaws. It's like a taunt or something, you know. It's not just trying to bluff charge you. It's getting ready to eat you. All right, and that's not overstating it either, because black bears are very opportunistic. I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself on this channel. I mean, I don't have to. I know a lot of you guys know this, but not everybody knows it. All right, they're opportunistic creatures. Black bears. They're more likely to eat you than a grizzly upon an attack. All right. If they're doing it defensively even, they're going to cut you up. They're going to draw some blood, and they're going to be like, this looks like it could be a meal. And then they'll just start eating you when you're still alive. Which isn't often the case with grizzlies. A mother sow, which is most often the attack cases with grizzlies, they'll attack you, and as long as they neutralize you, you'll be all right. You play dead. I mean, in a lot of cases, you're not okay. A lot of times you're dead. But, I mean, if you play dead, you potentially could get out of there. All right. But they say if they keep fighting, they're not letting you go. After a couple of minutes, you got to start fighting back. And that's what Karen did. This thing came at her. It started attacking. She's wondering, what the hell is it doing coming at me again? What I speculate, and this just comes to my mind now, to be honest with you guys, it might have been part of the situation where the cubs were up in the tree and Karen was between them, and that's why the mother bear kept coming back to attack. Because in another situation, the cubs could be on the ground, and if she would have gotten between them, the mother bear starts attacking, and then the cubs go run out into the woods or something, you know? But she was by the base of the tree, and this damn thing was attacking her. And the cubs are up in the tree. I mean, it's probably no wonder it kept coming back. This bear was... I mean, I'm not trying to defend the bear. But naturalistically, it almost makes sense. This is a mother bear who wants to protect her cubs, you know? The threat was still there on the ground. I mean, maybe she would have been better to crawl away. Maybe after the bear stepped aside, the cubs were still up in the tree, she could have crawled away from the damn tree, and then maybe the cubs would have been daring enough to come down, and then they could all run off. I'm not trying to give you guys advice, but if I were in that situation, after observing this attack, and after my research, that's what I would do. I'd also try not to go out there without a hand cannon. But what do you guys think about that? No pepper spray, no hand cannon. She went out there. They just get used to them. You know, it is a bit of a burden putting a hand cannon on every night. You're just taking out the damn dog for 10 minutes, 5 minutes. But, I mean, this was a concerning situation. There was a dog barking down the path, and she wanted to go check it out and see what was going on. So, I mean, it seems like it would have been a relevant situation to have some protection. But, I mean, she didn't do that, and this is often the case. I mean, even if she did, she still could have been attacked. But the bear came back again. And she tried to use her fist to guard her neck, and it was trying to get around her. It was trying to kill her. It was trying to break her neck. All right, this was like an intent to kill. You know, they tried to neutralize you. I mean, it was concerned about his cubs, and it was just shaking her, thrashing her around like a damn pit bull. And then she used her other fist, and she just started pounding the bear in the face. All right, and it almost seemed to be effective, but the problem is this will aggravate them. And if the damn cubs are right there, and you're between it and its cubs, and then you're fighting it, I mean, it's gonna try to finish the job. You know, it's gonna be willing to risk its life at that point. This isn't I'm just taking up on this opportunity. I'm gonna try to eat you, but if you fight me too much, I'm gonna get out of here because it ain't gonna be worth it. This is my cubs are involved. And that's when that phone call was made. After the bear, she pounded it, then it shook her around some, dug into her, flipped her over, broke her arm. And she was neutralized. She was shaking on the ground. And then it walked away again, huffing and huffing and huffing and huffing. And she crawled to her cell phone. She grabbed her cell phone. Here's what she said. Please come now. Please come now. I'm being attacked by this bear. He's coming back. Hurry. He's broken my arms and my legs. I can't move and I'm bleeding. I'm going to die. Please hurry. We're going to get there as soon as possible. Oh my God, here he comes. Oh my God. Oh my God, I can't hear it. Please. Please. He won't go away. Can you hear me? Sir, we have help on the way. We have help on the way. Okay. It's inaudible. She's coming back. She's getting ready to attack me again. Please tell my husband I love him. I didn't hear it. I was talking. Sending police and ambulance. The bear has attacked me. I'm laying in the driveway. And he's still here. Please help me. Please help me. Please help me. Karen is my name. Please come now. I mean, there's more to it. But I'm going to post it on my Patreon. So if you guys want, go on the Patreon, become a patron, and you can have access to that audio. But I mean, whew. I know you guys want to hear the rest of it. So authorities showed up. The bear was gone. All right. They rushed Karen to the hospital. They saw the cubs up in a tree, but the bear was gone. I don't know if the truck scared it off or what. Karen has all sorts of surgeries. She was in there for like 6 days. The next day they go looking for the bear. I don't think they found it that night. So they went back the next day and they found a sow and they shot and killed it. They captured the cubs and they ended up deciding to just, let them be somewhere else because they deemed that they were old enough to survive on their own. I don't think Karen was pleased that they killed the sow. I think that she kind of, her take was, it was protecting the cubs. She wanted it to be relocated, to my understanding, but that's how it all went. A lot of injuries from the attack, and thankfully she survived. And apparently she claimed that she felt there was an angel on her shoulder, all right, protecting her. I mean, this thing came back to her 4 times in a row. And she said that she felt the presence of an angel near her, keeping her alive, or something like that, or the angels protected her or something. I don't really know if she felt them or not, but I mean, I'm just saying that was her side of it, all right? And she lived on. What would you do in this situation? What could have been done to change things? It's tough when you live in their territory to go out every day with protection of some sort and just always be on the lookout, I mean, you could even have the protection, but I mean, the thing could come at you at any angle. But this is a rare occurrence, and keep that in mind. If they're up in the tree, you might want to stay back. I mean, she was trying to help, so good for her. And I'm thankful that she made it. But comment below your thoughts on these matters. Like this video if you will. Subscribe to the page. Paul that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. Become a patron if you want. Links in the description below. And I'll see you all tomorrow with more chilling tales from the Iceman. Peace be with you.